Here's an email from Lorenzo on the subject Colossus Minerals CSI. I'd appreciate James's opinion on this company.
Colossus is probably one of the most interesting and exciting companies out there because they are going straight into production on the Serra Pelada open pit, which at one time hosted over 80,000 garimperos, guys in loincloths crawling up and down walls with fire hoses, and a wall caves in and 20 of them die. They throw their bodies out, 20 new guys go in.
And this is in Brazil?
This is in Brazil. It's got some of the highest grade intercepts of platinum group metals, gold, silver, and base metals all in one package. We call it the jewelry box because it's got everything in some of the highest grade intercepts in the history of mining.
And what's the deal? When will they get up and running, Colossus?
They target initial production by 2013. They're at 600 meters on the decline ramp right now. So yeah, it's going to be in production relatively soon.
If it's so good, why hasn't one of the majors just snapped it up?
Probably because it's so tightly held by insiders, and it's just such a profitable operation, or it's looking like it's going to be such a profitable operation that there's really no interest in selling it, and it's so tightly held that they really have a hard time without paying a super premium for it.
We have Brad on the line from Vancouver. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, just a question on Donner Metals, their near-term producing mine with Xstrata Mining.
Yeah. Okay, well, Donner is fully funded now to production with Xstrata, and that's essentially it. At the end of the day, that's it. They're going to production. They've got everything they need. Partnership with Xstrata. What more do you need to know? It's a risk-free in terms of they're going into production. There's no doubt about it.
What and where is their mine?
It's sorry, I can't recall the name of it off the top of my head, but it's in northern Ontario.
And base metals?
It's zinc, yeah. It's a primary zinc mine.
So you'd see upside for Donner?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I would think so. I would think so. I mean, at this point, the market's being very cruel to all juniors. And so valuations at this point are really no indication of the viability financially of the project and of the economics. So I would think so, but the world is a very volatile and strange place right now. It's hard to say what the market's going to look like in 3 days, never mind in 3 months or 3 years. So, but I would think that Donner would be something that would be very attractive to investors because it's essentially a de-risked, go straight to production story.
We have an email from Taryn, and the subject is Prospero Silver PLL on the venture. Do you still cover Prospero? If so, please give me an outlook.
Sure. Prospero, I've met several times with management. I like the company, and I like the management team is all been there, done that for majors before. And they've started to have some good results. Companies hit some problems with some of the drilling, some of the rock wasn't very solid, or so they had troubles with recoveries. Now they've just started to report results, and they've got drills turning, but given management and the quality of projects they've got in that company, I think it's just a matter of time, which I believe I said it was just a matter of time probably about 1.5 years ago, but it's still just a matter of time. It's the kind of project where you're not going to buy it and turn it around and sell it for a double tomorrow, but it's the kind you can put on the shelf and just wait patiently for management to execute on the business plan because they're the management that does that.
And can you remind us where the project is?
That's in Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah.
An email from Mark in Surrey, BC, and the subject Terre BTR. What are your thoughts on Terre?
Terre is actually really interesting to me because I know the president personally, and he's one of the most persistent people I know in terms of tenacity. This guy is he's made it very clear he's going to get it done whether we buy into it or follow him or not. And so for that, Mitch Adam has got my full admiration. Now, they've started to have some really great drill results too, and lots of intersections across big lengths. I don't have any of the numbers off the top of my head because I don't actually own it at this point, though I'm sure that might change in the near future.
Okay, here's an email from Meredith, and the subject Sandstorm Gold. Would Sandstorm be James's favorite gold-focused royalty streaming company? Is there a better option? There's a bit of a conflict here. You might say, well, mine's much better.
No, I wouldn't say that because we're not a publicly traded company. And also, we have some real significant differentiators that I won't get into right now, but I think Sandstorm's an awesome investment for an individual investor because what they are doing is building a long-term royalty stream. They raise money, it goes straight to companies that are going into production. They're absolutely isolated from downside risk, even in the gold price, because if the gold price goes below a certain threshold, their purchase price is reset. So it's probably one of the most safest yet somewhat difficult to understand investments, which I think is why the market doesn't really give it the value that I believe it deserves. The other side of that is, to grow, the company needs to continuously raise money, and so as a negative, there's always the risk of further dilution as the company grows. But at some point, the return on investment from their investments into these royalty streams will far outweigh, I believe, the risk of dilution from further fundraising, because they're just going to build up a critical mass of production.
And remind us who the guy is behind that company.
That's Nolan Watson. Nolan Watson, who was with Silver Wheaton, and they really pioneered the whole idea of the streaming commodity.
What is he now, 32 or something?
Yeah,
He's so incredibly young age. Anyway,
he's pretty young.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with James West, CEO, Midas Letter Opportunity Fund, answering your questions on resource stocks. You can give him a ring at 1-855-326-6266.